No matter what I do, someone will always save me. And that is where the real problem begins. Today, we're talking about what happens when parents never teach their children about consequences. Imagine a child breaks something in the house. Instead of correcting the child, the parent quickly says, "It's okay, don't worry about it." The next day, the child does something even worse. Again, the parent protects them. Then at school, the child gets into trouble. Instead of asking, "What happened? What did you do?" the parent immediately blames the teacher. As the child grows older, they slowly begin to believe dangerous. Now, teaching a child about consequences does not mean being cruel. It does not mean beating them, shouting at them, or making them afraid of you. It simply means helping them understand that every choice has a result. Good choices can bring good results. Bad choices, difficult results. And when children never learn this lesson at home, teach them. The problem is, life is not always as gentle as a loving parent. Let me give you an example. There was a boy named Daniel. Daniel was a good kid, but he had one big problem. He never learned to take responsibility for his actions. Whenever he forgot to do his homework, his mother would go to school and make excuses for him. Whenever he broke something, someone else would quickly replace it. Whenever he insulted someone, his father would say, "He's just a child, leave him alone." Little by little, Daniel started learning the wrong lesson. He learned that saying sorry was easier than changing his behavior. He could make a mistake today, apologize tomorrow, and then make the same mistake again next week. Nothing really changed. There was no real lesson, no real responsibility, and no real consequence. Then one day, Daniel borrowed his friend's bicycle without permission. While riding it carelessly, he damaged it badly. His friend was upset and asked Daniel to pay for the repairs, but Daniel just laughed and said, "My parents will handle it." And once again, his parents paid for everything. The bicycle was repaired, the problem was solved. But Daniel himself was not repaired. Nobody helped him understand that his careless decision had cost someone else money, trust, and peace. Years passed, and Daniel became an adult. At work, he started arriving late. When his boss warned him, Daniel blamed traffic. The next time, he blamed his alarm. Then he blamed his phone. He always had an excuse. But he never took responsibility. Eventually, he lost his job. And for the first time in his life, there was no parent who could walk into the office and fix everything. No one could make the consequence disappear. Daniel was shocked. He kept asking, "Why is this happening to me?" But the truth is, this problem did not begin when he lost his job. It began many years earlier, when nobody taught him that his actions had consequences. That is why teaching children about consequences is so important. Because a child who never faces small consequences when they are young may face much bigger consequences when they become adults. Think about another example. Imagine a little girl named Sarah. Sarah has a habit of lying. One day, she takes money from her mother's purse and denies it. Her mother knows what happened, but instead of correcting her, she laughs and says she's too young to understand. A few months later, Sarah lies again. Then she starts lying to avoid getting into trouble. She lies to protect herself. And slowly, lying becomes normal to her. Why? Because she has learned that lying is easier than telling the truth. Years later, people begin to lose trust in her. Her friends stop believing her. Her family starts questioning everything she says. And one day, Sarah may wonder, "Why does nobody trust me?" But trust did not disappear overnight. It was damaged little by little. Then a lie, then another. This is why consequences are not always about punishment. Sometimes the natural result is the lesson itself. If you lie, people may stop trusting you. If you are disrespectful, people may stop wanting to be around you. If you refuse to study, you may struggle in school. If you waste opportunities, you may lose them. Children need to understand these things. Not because parents want them to suffer, but because parents want to prepare them for real life. Think about it this way. A parent may believe they are protecting their child by removing every consequence, but sometimes they are only delaying the lesson. And the longer that lesson is delayed, the harder it may become. Imagine a child who refuses to clean up their toys. Every single day, the parent cleans up everything for them. The child slowly grows up to clean up their mess. Then one day, that child becomes an adult, but expects family or fix everything. And that kind of attitude can destroy relationships. Because people eventually get tired of carrying responsibilities that belong to someone else. Or think about a teenager who spends money carelessly. Every time they waste all their money, their parents immediately give them more. Nobody asks, "What happened to the money?" Nobody teaches them how to manage it. So the teenager never learns how to plan. They never learn how to wait. They never learn that when money is gone, sometimes you have to live without certain things. Then adulthood comes, bills come, rent comes, responsibilities come, and suddenly life feels unfair. But life is not necessarily unfair. They were simply never prepared for it. Parents, one of the greatest gifts you can give your children is not giving them everything they want. Sometimes one of the greatest gifts is allowing them to learn. If your child makes a mistake, talk to them about it. Ask them what happened. Ask them how their choice affected other people. Ask them what they can do differently next time. Teach them to apologize when they hurt someone.